The word cancer carries an immense weight in our society, often spoken in hushed tones, associated with fear, uncertainty, and a host of difficult questions. People often ask me, is cancer my fault? Or, is this a modern disease caused by our polluted world? These are not just medical questions. They are deeply personal inquiries. They touch our feelings of control, blame, and vulnerability. The confusion is understandable. The narrative around cancer is often clouded by myths and misinformation. My goal here is to cut through that noise and offer a clear, compassionate, and science-based perspective on what cancer truly is and what it is not. Over the course of this discussion, we will embark on a journey to demystify this complex group of diseases. We will dismantle persistent myths, such as the idea that cancer is always a result of personal negligence, or that it is a uniquely modern affliction. We will replace these outdated notions with a nuanced understanding grounded in decades of research and simple, fundamental biology. By exploring how healthy cells can transform into something that grows without restraint, we aim to provide not just information, but clarity and empowerment in the face of a diagnosis that can feel overwhelming. At its very core, cancer is a disease of our own cells gone awry. To understand it, we must first appreciate the remarkable orderliness of a healthy body. Your body is made up of trillions of cells, each with a specific job, following strict instructions encoded in their DNA. Think of a disciplined society where cells grow, divide when needed, and die when they are old or damaged. This process, called apoptosis, or programmed cell death, is essential for maintaining health, the body's way of tidying up. This constant, controlled turnover is a silent, beautiful symphony of life. Cancer begins when this orderly process breaks down. It can start with a single cell or a small group that ignores the stop signals. A series of mutations disrupts the instructions that govern behavior. Instead of dying when it should, the altered cell survives. It continues to divide, creating more copies with the same defects. Uncontrolled growth is the hallmark of cancer. Abnormal cells can form a mass, a tumor. Not all are cancerous. Benign tumors do not spread. Malignant tumors invade nearby tissues. Metastasis, the ability to spread through the bloodstream or lymphatic system to distant organs, makes cancer formidable. When cells settle in the liver, lungs, or bones, they can form new tumors. A breast cancer that spreads is still breast cancer in a new site. Cancer is not a single disease, but more than 100, named for the organ or cell of origin, like lung cancer, skin cancer, or leukemia. When people ask what causes cancer, they want a single, simple answer. But the truth is more complex, a multifaceted interplay of factors. We can group these into 3 broad categories: our genetic inheritance, our environment, and our lifestyle choices. Together, over time, these elements determine an individual's risk. It's rarely one thing, it's convergence that can tip a cell toward uncontrolled growth. This shifts us away from blame toward a clearer picture of risk. About 5 to 10% of cancers are strongly linked to inherited mutations, like BRCA1 and BRCA2, which raise breast and ovarian cancer risk. Having one doesn't guarantee cancer, but it raises the odds, like starting a game with bad cards. It's not anyone's fault. Knowing can guide proactive screening. The environment includes many exposures. Some are clear carcinogens. Ultraviolet radiation causes most skin cancers. Tobacco smoke causes most lung cancers. Others include asbestos, air pollution, and viruses like HPV. These exposures can damage DNA, creating mutations that start cancer. Lifestyle choices, diet, physical activity, alcohol use, and body weight affect risk. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, plus regular exercise, lower risk for several cancers. Obesity raises risk for at least 13. Heavy alcohol increases risk in the mouth, throat, and liver. These factors don't determine fate, but they shift the odds, protective or promotional in cancer's complex equation. While we can identify risk factors in genetics, environment, and lifestyle, there is another powerful element: pure, random chance. Every time a cell divides, billions of DNA letters must be copied perfectly, and the machinery, though superb, is not infallible. Most mistakes are harmless or quickly repaired, but occasionally a critical gene mutates and slips past the repair crew. This is simply biology. These random mutations are not caused by anything you did. They are spontaneous events inherent to living and growing. This helps explain why two people with the same lifestyle and environment can have different outcomes. One develops cancer, while the other does not. It is the unlucky roll of the biological dice. This element of chance is tied to aging. A 70-year-old's cells have divided countless more times than a 30-year-old's, each division another chance for error. Over a lifetime, small random mutations can accumulate until a cell acquires the perfect storm needed to become cancerous. Age is the single biggest risk factor for most cancers. Consider Frank, 65, healthy, never smoked, an avid runner with a balanced diet, diagnosed with colon cancer during routine screening. No inherited predisposition, no significant exposures, most likely cumulative random cellular mistakes over decades. Frank's case reminds us cancer is not always about lifestyle or inheritance. Sometimes it is a disease of time and chance. This understanding doesn't diminish prevention. It adds compassion and realism. The conversation around cancer is saturated with myths that cause fear, guilt, and confusion. The idea that getting cancer is a personal failure or punishment is harmful and unscientific. Causes are complex. Smoking raises risk dramatically, but many cancers stem from factors outside our control, like inherited genes or random mutations. Another myth says cancer is strictly modern, born of industrial chemicals. Some exposures raised certain rates, but cancer is ancient, found in Egyptian mummies and even dinosaur bones. It seems more common today because people live longer, and we detect more with advanced imaging and screening that once missed tumors. Claims that diet alone prevents or cures cancer are misleading. A healthy diet lowers some risks, but there's no magic bullet or single food or supplement that prevents or cures cancer. Cutting sugar to starve tumors oversimplifies metabolism. All cells use glucose. Eliminating sugar doesn't stop cancer growth. Avoiding evidence-based treatment in favor of unproven therapies can be dangerous. Thanks to research, early detection, and modern treatment, survival has improved dramatically, and many early cancers are highly curable. For others, new therapies make cancer a manageable condition with good quality of life. Replace fatalism with a hopeful, realistic view. Our fight against cancer shows human ingenuity. For centuries, surgery was crude and often too late. The 20th century added radiation and chemotherapy, blunt, life-saving tools. Now precision medicine analyzes mutations and uses targeted therapies that block the molecules cancer cells rely on, often more effective with fewer side effects. Immunotherapy harnesses the immune system, unmasking cancer so it can be attacked, producing remarkable, durable remissions. What if cancer isn't what you think? It's not one disease, not purely modern, and not a moral judgment. It's a complex interplay of inherited genes, the world we live in, our daily choices, and the random processes of life and time. We carry both responsibility and liberation. Take evidence-based steps. Don't smoke, maintain a healthy weight with diet and exercise, protect skin from the sun, get vaccinated against HPV, and participate in recommended screenings that catch cancer early. Also accept that some cancers arise despite doing everything right, through genetics or chance. Offer compassion without judgment. Focus on care, treatment, and healing. Hold balanced, realistic hope. Progress races ahead with more effective, less toxic treatments, while we acknowledge cancer's biological complexity. Take control where possible, advocate for research, support those affected, and face the future with clarity, courage, and a well-founded hope for what is to come.